Welcome to Integration TV. We take pride in being live from community events. I'm your host, Haldan Naleya. I'm so excited that today on Integration TV we get to attend the Somali Hope Academy, the first school in Somalia started by a Somali police officer right here in Canada from Ottawa. Welcome to Officer Mahamud Elmi to Integration TV. Just all of you out there, imagine having a dream and aspiring to be a person who contributes to your community and starting a school where you give the gift of education to 300 students. Well, this man did it and he's going to tell us how. And I'm so proud to have him here. Welcome.
Thank you very much, my sister Haldan Naleya. First of all, I want to say congratulations. I'm a big fan of your obviously TV show.
Thank you.
I watch it a lot.
And I'm a big fan of you now. Come on.
Thank you very much. But thanks for having me. And Toronto, I mean, Toronto is my second home, even though I'm from Ottawa. And thank you very much for having me.
This is exciting. So you had a vision to start this school. Tell us about that vision.
So this vision started 2008. I traveled back to Somalia, after a long time. And what I noticed, there was a lot of children that, that were not attending school simply because their parents weren't able to afford the fees to go to school. And when I came back, I was taken back by a lot of kids who have a lot of talent that were not reaching their full potential simply because they weren't able to afford the school fees.
Mm-hmm. So then you said to yourself, I could make a difference.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So then when I came back, I promised myself actually I made the decision of at least doing a part and helping, and what I did was I made the decision to actually tell my message, to people and tell them about what I saw. Mm-hmm. So in that way, that's the least thing I can do. And then one of the things was I said, you know what, I like to build a school where every child that lives in that town can go to school for free. And that's how it all started. Obviously, we did a lot of fundraising from 2008 to 2012. And we were able to finish, and that was our goal, to finish the construction of the school in 2012, and we were able to achieve that. And in 2012, that's when we opened our doors for students.
Amazing. You know what I find fascinating is that you got your fellow police officers involved, and this is what I want young people who are Somali to learn, is that you can have a career and you can also get your career and the people around you involved to support our country, and that's what you did. Fascinating.
Yeah, no, and amazingly enough, a lot of people tend to forget one of the most important resources in the world, actually the most important resource on earth, is the human being. And this is what we're doing. We're investing on children, and children that, that do want to get, live to their full potential, but they unfortunately don't get to that, they don't get that opportunity because obviously the financial constraints and what's going on, the reality in Somalia. And honestly, all I did was tell their stories, because they're not able to speak for themselves. They're all the way in Somalia, to the people. And people listen, and people do care about, about other people. And we're investing in, like I said, the most important resources in the world, which is human capacity. Yes, I'm a father.
So you see that opportunity for your kids they have here in this country, and you want to give that to Somali children.
Not only in that, but I think it's the responsibility of all of us.
Amazing.
We were, especially, most of us that live in the West, we ended up coming to different countries, whether it's the United States, whether it's Canada, or even some of the European countries, and we get a free education, so on, free healthcare, so on and so forth. And we can't forget where we came from, and we have to also, take that leadership, make that sacrifice, to give back. I'm not saying, every single person has to do it, but even if you can support initiatives like Hope Academy,
yes,
that's
what
fantastic.
I believe.
Yeah.
I believe that we should support people who are doing the work, because that's what's most important, right? I mean, you're not in Somalia running the school. Here you are employing people. You're you created jobs in the community, and you're sending kids to school. I mean, what more great reward is there in life than that?
And I totally agree with you. Like honestly, when you look at it, even one of the most prominent individual we know, it's when you look at who advocate for the rights of all people, who in all aspects in life, was Nelson Mandela.
Yes.
And he said, education is the most powerful weapon you can use to change the world, and it is true. If a society wants to move forward, we got to give equal opportunity to everyone, without, without discriminating based on their financial background or
Yeah.
gender background.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, what's next for you? So we're doing the fundraiser here in Toronto. Everybody's supporting, which I love. And what's next for the school? Are you expanding? What are you going to be doing?
So we have some plans, and we have to look at, like you said, we want to make sure also people living in in Somalia take responsibility for what we create, but we have to do it responsibly.
Yes.
And what I mean by that is, the school is different from a lot of other schools that are in Somalia, and the big thing is we pride ourselves with no child gets left behind. And what I mean by that is every child that comes to that school is allowed to get a free education.
Yes.
No one gets turned away and says, sorry, you can't pay the school fees, or sorry because, you're a girl or whatnot. Every child is welcome. Every child gets that opportunity to go to the school. And when you look at it, for 4 years, we've maintained it, we've sustained it, we've fundraised it. But obviously, we have to look at it and transfer responsibly.
Yes.
So our next plan is to add a well to the school itself.
Wow.
That well, it's going to also provide water into part of that, into the town itself.
Wow.
Because some of the challenges we face also is sometimes we lose some of the children for about 2-3 months because their parents send them out with the livestock. So they
Yes.
look after that. And so what we're looking to do is trying to, do a wraparound of services around the whole community, so the kids can go to school for free, and at the same time,
They have whole life centers,
water well can sustain the school itself, literally, where they can install water into the community. They can do water installation, and whatever income they generate from that, from that well, they can pay for the teachers. So it's really not going to need a lot of support from us, and that gives responsibility to the people that also live in Somalia. And you talked about creating jobs. You talked about obviously providing clean water. You talked about children getting a free education. So that's our next hope.
What I like is the fact that you want to empower the people. I think a lot of times as Somalis, I say we're so good at giving money and giving support, but we don't teach the next generation how to sustain themselves. So I commend you for that. People should be able to take care and be taught how to do it themselves.
And
Because they live there, we don't live there.
yeah, and you're absolutely right. But another thing also, Harlan, I feel like we don't give some credit also to the people living in Somalia.
Yes.
To me, what I was honestly, taken back by was when I went there, when the construction was finished in 2012, when I went back for the opening ceremony, was the way these people actually took pride in terms of building the school, making sure that the construction was done properly, making sure that they were just excited as we were having the school itself.
It's amazing. Well, I commend you again, and thank you so much for joining us, and we wish you best of luck. And I know that everybody in the world's watching you and saying good for you that you took the initiative. And what's your last advice for young people out there that decide this is what they want to do too for their little communities or whatever little Tula Academy, okay?
Yeah.
Tell me.
No, actually 2 things I want to share. One, obviously, being, you can always support us. You can go to, www.shaf.ca, which is Somali Hope Academy Foundation .ca. You can go on our website just to follow us and find out how you can support or what you can do to help us achieve this goal of even adding the well to the school. The other advice of what I would give it to people that that do want to take on initiatives such as Hope Academy or Retro School is don't get discouraged. There are going to be some challenges that you're going to come across, but if you commit it, there's a lot of good people out there that do want to help you, that do want to make sure that that goal is achieved. Starting obviously with your family, starting with your close friends, and also the people that live in that in that town. I encourage everybody to take a challenge, to challenge themselves, to make a small contribution, to Somalia. And Somalia, it's, today it's at a crossroad, and we need to, as a community, as a diaspora community, to stand with them. And the years of talking is finished. It's the years of action, and we really got to take those steps to make it happen. And those who want to take initiatives such as Hope Academy. I say please go on, don't get discouraged, and eventually you'll achieve.
That's awesome. In other words, what's it like being a police officer? Come on now.
I mean,
It's amazing, like one of the first Canadian police officers.
but no, being
That's
a police
phenomenal.
officer, it's obviously it's challenging. You know, I've been doing it 10 years plus now.
Wow, you look so young. Come on
I
now.
enjoy
10 years?
I enjoy my job. Obviously, I have very good support in terms of my family, my wife, and the community. And to me, I've joined this profession not because of the money and not because it was a cool job. I honestly joined because I do want to make a difference in my community.
Good for you.
And I think, I was able to even, of course, with God's help, I was able to achieve this of building this school. But at the same time, the community, and the community itself, and also more so, my colleagues or the people that work with me, have also taken that and helped me and guide me. And just to give you one example, Ottawa Police, which is the organization I've worked for, the police service I'm a member of, donated 50 computers
Wow.
of their laptops to the school. So just because of them now, the school has a
Amazing.
computer lab, so there's a lot of people, and the point is that it doesn't matter which profession you're in,
Yeah.
you should
Well,
take-
and,
take-
and I think a lot of companies out there give nonprofits money to help in their communities. So if you're a working professional who's Somali, look into your companies and see what they're donating and what nonprofits they're supporting. And if you have an initiative, ask. Why not?
Yeah, and you know what? In fact, what I learned also being a police officer, you can be, you can do your job, but at the same time, what makes you a great police officer actually is not just doing your job. It's what you do beyond your,
Of course.
and
Service to one's
yeah,
community.
exactly, and they respect that, and they will, they will help you along the way, and they're very proud of that just as much. And this is, above all, this is a Canadian-led, Somali Canadian-led initiative.
Amazing.
And all Canadians around the world, just today you saw this Canadian flag that was being signed.
Yes.
Every year that's a tradition. We send, every event we do, people sign the flag and we send it to the school, and kids know that there's people all the way, around, it's far away from them, that do care about them, and that's amazing. That's
Amazing.
touching. Yeah.
We're proud of you. Thank you again so much for joining us, and good luck with everything.
Thank you very much for having me, Harun, and I'll continue. I'm going to look forward to your upcoming shows.
Inshallah.
Thank you.
This is Integration TV live from the annual fundraiser for the Somali Hope Academy in Toronto. We thank you so much for joining us today, and we tell you, everyone out there, to continue supporting Somali change makers who are doing good in our communities to rebuild our country and also rebuild ourselves.